The following segment is sponsored by U.S. Chamber of Commerce. American businesses of every size across every industry in every state are reporting unprecedented challenges filling open jobs. There are now half as many available workers for every open job across the country as there have been on average over the past 20 years. Joining us to discuss the labor shortage problem is Neil Bradley. Neil, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Carrie, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Of course. Okay, how bad is the worker shortage problem, and how is our local economy being impacted by the worker shortage?
Well, it's becoming a full-blown crisis. We just recently got the most updated figures. 10.9 million open jobs across this country. That is a new record. It's an increase of nearly 800,000 jobs that employers haven't been able to fill in just 1 month. There in Utah, we count at least 84,000 jobs that employers have available that they can't fill. To put that in perspective, that's nearly twice as many open jobs today as the average over the last 2 decades. So, we talked to restaurant owners in Utah and across the country who tell us they were excited, to fully reopen post-pandemic or as the pandemic comes to an end. And instead, they're having to choose between lunch service and dinner service because they don't have the staff to do both. We talked to construction companies who are turning down work because they don't have the skilled tradesmen available to do the jobs that are being asked of them. When it comes to healthcare, we have a nursing shortage crisis that's impacting Utah and the nation. That means that we're not at our best at fighting back against COVID and really addressing all of our other healthcare needs. So no matter where you look in Salt Lake City, across Utah, or frankly across the nation, this has become a crisis that's holding back our economy from reaching its potential, which of course means less economic growth, less wage growth for Americans.
Wow. Neil, how do we begin to address this challenge?
Well, first, we have to recognize that there's not one single cause. If you go back before the pandemic, we had a worker shortage problem and employers were increasingly having difficulty filling open jobs. The pandemic has made that worse. Take, for instance, working parents. Childcare, accessible, affordable childcare is always an issue, but daycare closures and reduced slots has made it even more difficult today. We need to get those daycare centers, fully reopened. For a lot of individuals, it's a skills gap. Maybe the skills that they had for their old job don't match the skills that are needed for the new job. We need to help close that skills gap. And legal immigration factors into this as well. We've always welcomed people into this country legally to both help create jobs and to fill unfilled jobs, but yet restrictionist policies and the pandemic have basically cut off the supply of legal people coming into this country to work. So we have to address all of those issues if we want to begin to address the worker shortage crisis.
Yes, totally agree. Okay, Neil, where can we go for more information?
Well, I hope folks will visit uschamber.com. That's uschamber.com. If you're an employer, there are resources there to help you figure out best strategies to fill those open jobs. If you're a concerned citizen, you can just learn more about how the worker shortage crisis is impacting Salt Lake City, Utah, and the nation.
Perfect. Neil, thanks for joining us today. Wonderful to see you. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for having me, Carrie.